Voiceover Social.
Hello, Helen.
Hello, Rob. How are you?
I'm okay. It's March.
I know. I feel like I start every podcast, every blog, every newsletter with how is it this month already? But maybe it's just because January lasted about 72 years.
And I also think it might be because we didn't do a podcast last month.
Shh, they might not have noticed.
Yeah, well, let's hope. No, I hope they missed us terribly.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we were exhausted, I think is a good phrase. We had a little event on that you probably heard us whittering on about, the Great Big VO Social, which happened and was amazing. There were over 85-ish people that joined us, and wow, what a day. It was so much fun. We're not going to witter on about it though, are we, Rob?
No, we're not going to wish on about it. All we're going to say is a big thank you to everyone who came either in an official capacity or just as a punter, because obviously if we'd been stood in an empty room all day, it would not have been the same at all.
No. And we've done a little review blog just to break down and be open about what it was that we did, how we did it. So it breaks down the marketing that we did, it breaks down the costs, it breaks down the time, just to give people an overview of what is involved in running an event. And it was we expected some of it, but it was a bit more than we were expecting. So I just thought it would be interesting for other people to see. And the photo gallery is also online, and the links to both the blog and the photos are in the show notes.
Yes, so that's enough about that. But I'll just say watch this space, because hopefully soon we'll be announcing the date for the Great Big Voiceover Social 2026. So what are we doing in the podcast this month?
Well, we've got two people this month, which is exciting. Two, not at the same time, though. We have an amazing update from News from Equity. Hooray!
Yay.
Annette Rizzo is giving us an update on the latest campaigns, what we're fighting for, how we can get involved. There's bits that are just for equity members, and there's bits that anybody can get involved in as well, which is really cool. Always interesting to chat to Annette. So thank you, Annette, for joining us. And our guest this month is
Kate Harbour. Kate is a British animation voiceover specialising in animation, although she does do other stuff, as she explains. And she's just a lot of good fun to talk to. Her
IMDb credits just go on and on and on. In all the good ways. She's voiceover in Octonauts. She's been in Chicken Run. She's been in Shaun the Sheep. She's been in Warhammer. She's done Doctor Who stuff. She's done Lego City. She's done Bob the Builder. She's done, there's some insane credits in this. Some really cool. I'm particularly interested by Peter Kay's animated Star Band for the BBC Children in Need medley. That might be worth digging out on YouTube just to have a little look. Okay. But honestly, the credits go on and on and on. This woman is an absolute legend when it comes to working with character voices and animation. And it was right good natter, wasn't it, Rob?
It was a right good natter. It was good fun. And should we mention also that the fact that she is running workshops to help other people get into animation?
I mean, it'd be rude not to mention those workshops, surely.
I think it would. So yes, details of all those workshops will be in the show notes. But I think let's keep it brief this month. I think that's all we have to say. So let's crack on with the episode. Today's guest is the wonderful Kate Harbour, and as usual, me and Helen are far too lazy to do any actual research into our guests. And so our first question is always, Kate, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, yes, all right then. I'll shrug off the imposter syndrome devil on my back for just now, and I'll step into my own shoes and say, hello, I'm Kate Harbour. I'm an actor. I started out as a dancer, actually, and I worked in a variety of Western musicals and things. My first job actually got me my equity card, which was playing the back end of Maggie the Cow at Watford Palace. Thank you very much.
I'm glad it was the back end somehow. That makes it more charming. I don't know why.
It was actually, yeah. We fell off the stage at one point. That was
God.
great. It was very funny. It was a good. The front end actually was my boyfriend. We were sort of thrust together, so that's probably why. But anyway, carry on.
I love it. 3 seconds in, tangent. Yay!
Yeah, I'm all about those.
Excellent.
Well, I suppose I'm most well known for my character voices on animations, such as the, ready for this, Clang, twice BAFTA award-winning Shaun the Sheep movies and series. Hooray!
So exciting.
I know. I'm so happy for them, honestly. And did Chicken Run, or Nugget, and da-da-da. I was also the original Wendy in a variety of other characters in Bob the Builder.
That's cool too.
Also, you were talking about number one singles. And I looked it up, and we did actually win 2, which was for
Bob the Builder.
We knocked Westlife
it was a
off
Christmas
the top
number
spot.
1, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah.
So not
word.
only have you had a number 1, you've had a Christmas number 1.
Oh, I know it's the best number 1 of all the number 1s to have, surely.
Sorry, Spoonface, you've been usurped.
Oh, yeah. Well
And then the second one was like Mambo number 5, I think.
Yes,
I think
of course,
that's what it was. Yeah,
I vaguely remember
So anyway,
that.
But that was ancient ago, so, since then, done a bit of a thing called Messi Goes to Okie Doe, which I've loved, Lego City mini-movies, Octonauts, Above and Beyond, and I've worked for Disney Junior and Disney Plus, and da-da-da-da. And I've also been on a few radio dramas and comedies, including Doctor Who, The Big Ben Theory, including, right, I'm going to do some name drops now, Joanna Lumley, hello, and she's just bloody wonderful, and the Roy Hudlines, which was a live recording at the Sondheim Theatre with one of my favourite actresses, Alison Steadman.
Wow.
So, yes, and chuck in a few old dubbing bits and ADR and stuff for animations, and I'm your gal. So that's me.
That's amazing.
That's quite a CV there, really.
It's not bad.
But just to bring you back down to earth a little bit, I mean, animation is kind of often considered as kind of an aspirational area of voiceovers to be working in. What other really boring stuff do you do for voiceovers?
This is better.
Well, you see, I wouldn't call it boring because I really quite enjoy it, especially medicals, which sounds a bit weird.
Okay.
But you get really, I really enjoy it because you find out so much stuff, don't ask me now because my head's not there. But, stuff about blood and how that all works and all the sort of amazing things that the researchers are doing and everything in all the different fields. So I love all that. That's really cool. I get a few of those, probably because of the standard RP, basic accent that I have. And I do a few, not many, but a few commercials, a bit of narration, audiobooks, although audiobooks much less. In fact, I used to do a lot of them for Audio Go when they were just literally down the road from me here in Bath. I used to do a lot of them, for the children's books and things, all the different characters. And I used to love that. But doing an audiobook here in my studio is... I much prefer to be directed. I much prefer for someone to be with me to take the reins. I fully admire people who do it from their own studio, and I'm sure there is a formula and a way of doing it. But it's a real craft, and it's a very time consuming. And anyway, let's not bang on about that. But and also games, although that actually is an area of work that I'd like to get more of. Yeah. I haven't really done much IVR. Yeah, not done much of that. But yes, I've enjoyed a few nice commercials, and I love being directed live. It's so much better for me because it is a collaborative thing, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough to get that, then yeah, fantastic.
So do you prefer in your own studio or in someone else's studio? Then is that purely down to whether you're being directed or not?
Yeah, I mean, they're both. They're a completely different animal, I think. However, if I am directed, I love it. I much prefer it that way. For auditions, of course, you're on your Todd, so you've got to bring your game. So that's another craft in itself. But I much prefer being with people in a studio, and it's
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine even if it is kind of a directed session for something like animation, but it's a directed remote session and you're sitting in your booth, you can still hear all the other actors. But I'm guessing that the camaraderie is very, very different if it's there at all when everybody is sitting in their own little booth.
Yeah, it is. It's a strange thing, and it's thank goodness though you can see them. That's the thing. Often I much prefer it if I can see them, but often they do it via clean feed or whatever, and you just. But you can hear it. You can hear what they're wanting, and you can hear it if you're going a bit naff and they want you to do something else. Just do it better, that type of thing. So yeah, I love being with people, certainly for animation recordings, because it is a completely different animal that way. It's not to get too woo woo, but it's a different vibration. It's a different. You have to be really aware of everything that everybody is doing. And
do you think part of it might? I'm second guessing here, but it might be because you can kind of bounce off the other characters, so it helps you stay in character more.
Oh God, yeah. That's the whole point, really, because you're telling a story and you are reacting and listening to the other characters who are in the story with you. And if you're just doing a one line and you're not responding and you're just really doing your own showboat, you're not there, you're not present, you're not, and that can be heard. That absolutely is heard.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking back to those early days of COVID when all of a sudden all our socialising was done on Zoom. And how different that was. Even when you were having a Zoom meeting with your mates who you'd known for 20 years, how different that was
odd,
online.
Yeah.
And then also, because we were on Zoom such a lot, we got very used to kind of dealing with new friends on Zoom.
Yeah.
And when we first met them in real life and how different they looked even, and kind of putting that into that kind of directed session kind of scenario, you're going to get a completely different vibe, a completely different reaction
absolutely.
online from in person.
100%, yes. Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing and a curse in a way, the whole thing. But I do think that people are realising, and not if they have the budget, they will try and get everybody in together and or definitely direct you. But there was a job that I've just done recently, actually, for Jersey Electricity, and I loved doing it. It was great because it encompassed FVO, female VO, for those who don't know, and some characters. So I got to do both, which was just magic. And the first session was directed, and then the second session they said, "Well, we're happy for you to direct," which was nice because they obviously trust that I can get the job done. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and so sometimes that works. But also the other factor is, ages ago when I was doing Bob and all that, I would say to people, "But you're a proper voiceover, aren't you? Because you've got a studio, and there's no way that I could do that. I can't do that." So my husband actually took the bull by the horns and made me a studio under my stairs, which is fully soundproofed and the whole business, just before lockdown. What is the... I mean, come on. That was
nice.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And so then I had to really get it together and start learning how to record, how to do things. And, I'm not a huge technophobe, but it takes time. It takes time to learn these things. And also, I am not a sound engineer. So, no, I will not be doing compression and things like that. I will be sending that off raw. Thank you.
You've said you started out as a dancer. You are now a voiceover specialising, if that's the right word, in animations. How did you get into voiceovers? How did you get into animation?
I was always imitating, actually, when I came out. In fact, I saw my mum's diary the other day, and it said she's standing on her head and she's constantly mimicking us, constantly doing sounds. And that's just really funny to read that. So I started doing that, started doing, impersonations and things. And then I just always had that feeling. It was the Muppets that inspired me a lot, because I, as a sort of physical, person, I was sort of imitating them physically. So they were quite, well-drawn characters. I was fascinated by all of them. I mean, they were just hilarious. So yeah, I started like that. But so as I say, I did lots of musicals and all of that. But I made a tape, yes, a cassette tape, and sent it off to various people and started getting work because I could do more than one voice. So they were saying, could you be this dragon? Could you be this other thing? And I would offer it up. So yes, I started getting work like that. And then it was luck, actually. I think my tape landed on Jackie Cockle's doorstep, and she was working for Cosgrove Hall at the time. And she heard my tape, and then she got me in for an audition. And then that was Okie Doke. That's what it was. Okie Doke. So there's lots of different animals in there and lots of different things. And so that was wonderful. And then the big break, of course, with Wendy and Bob the Builder happened when, in fact, the late Emma Chambers got Notting Hill, and she was going to be Wendy. So I did an audition for Jackie because, of course, I'd worked with her before, and we played around with some different voices and with Wendy and all of that, and came up with something, and she liked it, and that was it.
Amazing.
And so then that started that ball rolling, really.
Has there been a favourite character to play? Do you have a particular standout moment that's just like kind of, what the hell am I doing this for? Why am I here? What's going on?
Well, it just seemed like a completely natural thing for me to be doing. So what the hell wasn't really in it. It was yeah, here I am. Let's go. And in fact, on that score, I suppose I would say that Dizzy, the cement mixer, was my favourite, because she would always appear when I was little, trying to make people laugh at home. So she was my fave, I would say. I mean, there's been a few. In fact, the most recent, I suppose, is this little character called Awa. It's a little wooden guy, on this fantastic African futurist animated anthology short film series called Kizazi Moto Generation Fire for Disney+. And so I absolutely loved that. I received the brief for it, and it was they gave me a whole load of bush baby sounds and things, and so, which I listened to and tried to replicate, and then it morphed into other areas, working with the most amazing director, Njendo Muki's her name, and I can't believe I got it. I was just so thrilled. Did all these different sort of, bits of offered stuff up for her, and then she came back with some notes, and I redid it and things, and then I actually recorded it at Soho Square Studios, and it was just one of the most special things. I mean, yet again, of course, no lines, just sounds. It was very cute little sounds, and it meant a hell of a lot to her, and that just the whole way that we worked together was just wonderful. So that really sticks up in my mind as a special moment.
So is that kind of a typical way that you would go about creating a character, or is that an unusual process? A
typical way. So I mean, I suppose like any actor, but to analyse it, I suppose I would just sort of, what I do is I gather all the information that they give me. Pictures are fab because I'm a visual learner, actually, inspired that way, how the character looks and everything. But if no visuals are given, the script usually reveals all the clues, doesn't it? And so it's kind of how it feels to me when I read it, when I absorb it. It's how it feels physically in my body. So I imagine stepping into its shoes, as it were, and then sort of assessing what its relationship to the others in the story is, and to be honest, often I usually just offer something that sort of tickles my funny bone, because getting to the real truth of it is key. Because you have to forget yourself. It's not you. It's nothing to do with you. It's what you're facilitating to come out. I mean, if I were to give advice as to new VOs maybe coming into animation, I think that's what I would say it would be to practice the versatility in accents and age range and tone and mimicry, like an actor would, noticing the quirks and the character traits and all of that, so that when you've developed your library of characters, you've got that library, you instinctively can go to something and go, reach for that. How about this? And then you're stepping inside it and you're with it. And you can then go to what I call Mach 5 and be brave. But then you're being really truthful as well. So you're not acting for it, but with, actually, the character.
Do you ever invent backstories for your characters? I mean, are Wendy's parents still alive? What was she like at school? How many ex-husbands does she have?
Well, a lot of the backstories usually are written for you, which is rather nice. But yeah, you have it sort of in your mind. You have a picture in your mind. And definitely if you need to go deeper, you can go deeper than that. And little backstories, and they kind of just develop as well. I mean, that was the beauty of Bob, because we would have wonderful read-throughs, and they would be often quite naughty, and some of it would stick, and other bits wouldn't. But that really was just the golden age, I think, of. Well, it was the golden age of Bob, and I think it was the golden age of animation as well. To be fair, in terms of recording and in terms of how it was then. I'm hopeful that it'll be the golden age again, but who knows? Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of how I approach it, and that's kind of what I teach as well. Well, not teach, but I kind of guide people when they come to my workshops. But I would suggest as well for people to do acting class, improv as a way to develop that library.
I was going to say, is the ability to think on your feet in that improvisational element is an important one, or?
Hugely, because then you're free to choose. You're free of thinking, and you just want to be free of any constraints at all and just be in the moment. Just be is a big part of my mantra, of course, because it was one of the sayings that my dad said, and just be, and it's true.
So how do you prepare your headspace for that before a session? Then how do you get into that zone that allows you to just be? Do you have a set routine, or is it
Oh no, not really. Just be. The prep's all done. This is the thing: is that the exciting prep happens before, so you can drill down into the various aspects of the visuals and maybe have a couple of ideas of maybe where to place the voice and the age and all of that. You're reading the brief, the Bible, as it were, and you just take on board all of that information. And it's actually about trusting yourself in the moment and going, it's okay. What's meant to come out will come out. As long as you are actually in the story and you are serving the story. And to that end, also, being free to have your funny bone available, because comedy timing is everything.
Yes, You're not the first person to have said that for a wide range of stuff as well. Actually, I think the last person that mentioned that was for Queeve and his audiobooks and his audiobook narrator, and understanding that kind of that pace and that timing of the script is
exactly. It's all about a rhythm, isn't it? And that's also for accents too. Yeah. And I think, when you're practicing, I think the gloves are off. You should practice everything. I know that, with diversity, you must, it's definitely not appropriate for you to be doing certain voices. But when you're practicing, do it, because it's a melody. You're not being what's the word? You're not being horrible.
No,
you're not. It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm and a melody, and that's what I try and say to people, is that if you can get that rhythm and melody together and understand pace and how the listener will be listening to you.
Yeah, it's exercising your ears, and it's exercising your mouth muscles as well. How do I get that sound and that intonation? And
exactly,
then if you can do that for something you're never going to use in a real job, then you've got that
you
flexibility.
You might use it though, you see, because you might use it for sounds.
Yes, well, you might do, but you've still got that flexibility for
totally
things which are more likely to be thrown.
Yes, absolutely, and it's sometimes you might go there in terms of a sound for a character. So, for instance, for Shaun the sheep, so I play the one with the curlers, Timmy's mum. Often you're given a brief and you're told what they're doing in any given thing. Like, for instance, Flight Before Christmas that I recorded here, actually, under my stairs, which was amazing. There were some really wonderful emotive moments in there. And you're given that story, but you all you're doing is you're barring and bleating and making emotional noises.
I was going to say, you've basically got 2 or 3 words there, is 2 or 3 sounds, and not really words.
It could sound really pretentious, but the point is you've got to, whatever it is, you've got to get to the truth of it. So if you're not feeling it first, it's not going to sound right. It's not guaranteed that it's going to come out correctly either. But as long as you're thinking it and you're thinking it in the right way, hopefully the sound will come and it will be the one that they want and it will sound correct.
Yeah, I think I'm right in saying that when they were making the Guardians of the Galaxy films, Groot is very well known for only ever saying, "I am Groot."
Yes.
I think in one film he said, "We are Groot," and everyone went, "Oh, piss off." But yeah, he says, "I am Groot." Now, Bradley Cooper, who plays Groot, no, Bradley Cooper is Rocket Raccoon. It's not Vin Diesel. It's whoever it is who plays Groot. His copy of the script actually has Groot's lines on. Everyone else just gets "I am Groot," but he actually has his lines on. So then he can, as you say, just kind of essentially make the same noise, but make it convey whatever it's meant to be conveying.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, yes, it is a conversation, even if it is just a bar or a bleat, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is. It's a funny thing, and that happens with all the other characters on there as well. Really, I mean, even just say Agent Red, which was another character which I was really happy to play. She doesn't say anything, but she has lots of ums and ahs, and she's moving around. She's very frustrated, and she's angry a lot, and then there are some tender moments at the end of Farmageddon and all of that. And you've got, luckily with a good director and the spirit of it, which is to get to the truth of it, of the story with humour. You just have that in your armoury, and you just go for it. Let the thoughts come out through your mouth.
So was there a point when you were earlier in your days of doing this that you felt really uncomfortable and really struggled to get into that kind of character mode, or has it always come really naturally?
No,
and it's just been.
I have to say, I'm very lucky. It has always come naturally to me, and I think I owe it to the Muppets as a result, because because you get asked, well, and I just think, well, no, what was it? And it was them, because mimicry, I suppose, is a great way of entertaining your family and all of that. And so, often I'd quite like to try and keep people amused and keep the general bonhomie of life. Not quite so easy in an actor's household, but anyway, I digress. So yeah, just that whole embodying it. It's people talk about that a lot, but it is true. It's to really embody the character is you're actually really feeling as though you are standing there with those arms, and that you are within it. That comes with understanding the emotions as well.
So have you got any tips for anybody that might find that embodiment trickier, that struggle to kind of let loose?
Yes, well, that is a marvellous segue to my workshop, I have to say, because I had to think about that and really work out, how to lead that out of people. So I have come up with some various exercises, and they do involve being physical. I do think that if you start with that, you can, if you really feel it, you can then let it go, and you're not actually worried about. It's not about the lines, and it's not even about the noises. It's actually not. It's about the feeling. It's the feeling that matters, and the more people practice with scale and what their voice can do, and actually not worry about it. We're so constricted by feeling that we should be doing it this way or that way. No, you've just got to let loose. You've got to just have fun and relax. Otherwise, these little characters, they might just pass you by and go and be with somebody else. Embrace it, have those, celebrate them, go for it. And I have noticed that is when people do dare to fail, dare to be, then it comes and they're like, hey, this is great. I can just I'm enjoying this. I want to do more. They do, because they just feel freer, and they've just, just let go.
So you can see those moments, that spark when suddenly it clicks and somebody just kind of goes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That must be a lovely thing to see happen for the first time.
It is wonderful. It is wonderful. Honestly, it is such a gift for me to see people working like that and having fun and sharing it with other people as well. It's so, and in fact, the one I did up in Manchester, they're all still friends, because I've only done one up there, but they're all still pals and sharing ideas, and so, and I just think, wow, that's really cool. That's really nice. The stuff that I'm suggesting and creating and leading out, I suppose, is not just for. It's not just for animation. It's not just for that. It could be for anything. It could be just for public speaking as well. It could be for having confidence in yourself and knowing to be within yourself and in your body and actually present. Get out of your head and a bit more into your soul. I think that's the key thing for me.
That's an excellent top tip.
All right, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you
very
much,
so
Kate.
much.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
News from Equity.
Hello, Annette. How are you?
Hello.
I am very well. You guys all right?
Yes, I think we're good. We're good. I think people are already bored of hearing us from us this month. So so let's jump straight in. What's happening at Equity?
Lots and lots happened. So let's start with the audio audit, the big audio survey. So we put that out in, I think it was November now, and it closed at the end of January. And that was an email that went out to everyone with a multi-part survey for those who filled it in, which was all about, which is what surveys always are, which was, it covered the whole range. So looking at what areas of audio work our members are employed in, how long have you been employed, looking at what, not the drilling down to the detail of what equipment everyone has, but how much we invest in our equipment in studios and in our general kind of workplaces, rates, what we have been asked to work for, what we have worked for, the whole range. So that is now in the state that surveys always are when they first come in, which is lots of numbers, and those are in the process of being crunched. Cool. I do not have a date for when the crunching will be complete, but the idea is that it's been a while since there's been any kind of survey of that nature. And so we wanted to make sure that the information that we had was as up to date as possible, and that information will be used to inform campaigns, negotiations, policy decisions, and what the next committee focuses on.
Is that information kind of going to be available to the public as a matter of interest, or is it just purely
It's an excellent question. Yes. There will be a certain amount that is legally not shareable, obviously, because it was an anonymous survey, and while I believe some people did contribute their personal details, and obviously they needed to know that people who were filling the details out were members. So I don't have access to people's emails and contact details. This is, a sort of staff only. But so I will wait and see what is available. Some information will not be legally shareable, but some information I'm sure we will make a big hoo-ha about, and you will know. Because we'll say we've been told by members that this is the case, this is the case, this is the case, as a result of the big audio survey.
It'll be really interesting. I really hope that we get to see some of that data, partly because we see the American version with the State of VO one, which I think has not long come out as well. But obviously that's based on voices working in America, so it'll be really interesting to see if there's similarities, differences between some of the stuff that's going on that side of the pond and ours as well. I think there's bound to be some common ground, but it'll be fascinating to see what's going on.
It will, and they do things differently. And I think, really interesting point of comparison. I think the same may well be happening with some of the guilds and unions in Europe as well. So cool. if we were able to share some global data, so much
it'd be
better.
Amazing, wouldn't it?
It would be brilliant.
So good.
Really good.
So valuable for voices that are, either currently in or looking to get into the industry as well. I think it's just all that stuff about what to charge and where to and how much investment you need to make. It's nice to see what other people are doing on a sort of a ballpark figure. Sometimes it's fascinating to see where things are going.
Absolutely. So that was the point. So that is underway. Yep. So that's how. So that's the audio edit, the audio audit, I should say, not the audio edit. You can tell where my brain is. Another thing that has been happening is the BBC radio drama campaign, which you may or may not have seen.
Oh, yes,
indeed. So the short version is the BBC made it plain that they were going to cut all radio drama from Radio 3. And I do know some people have said, is there radio drama on Radio 3? Radio 3, obviously, predominantly known as sort of classical music home in the BBC. But yeah, I mean, it has been a groundbreaking, if that's not an overused term, home of all sorts of audio drama for since time immemorial. And the idea is that is being removed entirely so that the BBC can focus Radio 3 completely on music. And while I sort of understand the logic for that kind of rationalisation, I think that people's responses would have been different. It had it been, we're moving it from Radio 3, but we're making it available either on Radio 4 or even not available on traditional radio, if you like. But there's a whole of BBC Sounds there. Yeah. So we'll be moving that investment straight onto the BBC Sounds platform. But that isn't what's happened. It is just being removed from radio. So there is a petition. And again, it was sent out to all members in one of those equity emails that people receive. And I understand that everybody feels overwhelmed because how many newsletters and emails do we receive on a daily basis? But if you have seen it and not signed it, please go and consider signing it. If you have not seen it, then you just need to go to the equity website and you can click and find it there.
Is it available to non-equity? Because if it's accessible to non-equity, then we can pop it in the show notes and people can head into that as well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other unions and people, individuals as well, who are involved. So the Writers Guild of Great Britain and the Society of Authors, they're involved as well. And the petition is at change.org. So yeah, absolutely, we'll make sure that the link is available.
Fabulous.
So that is happening. And we're also talking about taking that as a committee to this year's annual Equity Representatives Conference. And while obviously it's already a part of our kind of campaigning, if you like, at Equity, we're going to make sure, request that the union gets behind it and makes certain requests that are measurable from the BBC, if you like. What else have we got? We are looking at ways to expand accessibility for blind and partially sighted audio members. And we've had a member and activist who's come to us to talk to us about that as a committee. Oh. So already being worked on, including adding a new section to the existing audio information guide that was published several years ago now, and it's been updated several times. But that, again, is available on the Equity website. And we're also talking about things like what more we can add to the audio content of Equity's output. So, for example, there is already, for blind and partially sighted members, there is already an audio version of the Equity magazine that comes out quarterly. Right. But we're talking about ways we can maybe add more audio, like maybe an audio version of the audio guide, for example, would be really useful.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That's all happening. And also we hear maybe that there could be ways that the website itself might be made more accessible to members who are visually impaired. So again, all of these things are now currently in the offing. Yeah.
Great.
That's really good.
Yes.
And what else? Okay, the quick backdrop. The AI consultation by the government. How does the government go forward with its approach to regulating the use of AI, and in particular the scraping of data? Yeah. The government made clear that their preferred option was the one that was included, or a form of the one that was included in the EU's EU AI Act. Try saying that quickly.
No.
And that is, the proposed system is an opt-out. So what that means is that all of those companies that want to scrape our material, it doesn't matter if you're a voiceover, it could be anything. It could be a musician, a novelist, or a other writer, graphic designer, photographer, your work available on the internet. And we all put our work on as part of our portfolios, for example, and other work that we've done has been available for clients that we've worked for in the past. So it's on their website. So the opt-out means that if you don't want those companies to scrape your data, use your material to train their AI models to then replace you or compete with you, then you have to opt out. So you have to find every single company that has used your data from your own website, from anything that's ever been published. You have to stop them, tell them you want to opt out, and you have to monitor that. And it's not just what you're putting up now, it's anything you've ever uploaded. It doesn't work. And we're already hearing from creatives in the EU, it does not work.
I cannot explain how angry this makes me and how ludicrous
that's how I feel.
That is. I will swear way too much.
Don't swear.
No. Well, I can't quite find the words to describe how
outrageous.
Absolutely ridiculously angry everybody should feel about that policy. It is
absolutely
outrageous.
And for those who say that this is the way to make the UK a leading centre of AI innovation, they are missing one of the obvious routes that many people are saying who work in the industries, which is actually you can still make the UK a centre of AI innovation. You can make it a leader of ethical AI innovation. And you can lead the world in that.
Yeah.
And that is attractive because we're already seeing lawsuits, because it's such a grey area still legally in so many countries. Lawsuits are already underway about data being taken, stolen, used without consent or with incorrect consent, et cetera, et cetera. So I think there are a lot of companies at the moment that want to do the right thing, either because they genuinely want to do the right thing or because they don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
So either way, there's an opportunity here. So I think the Make It Fair campaign and the silent album that was released by the likes of Annie Lennox and Kate Bush and Damon Albarn has been fantastic. And at the time of us recording this, we have seen the response to that because the consultation has only just closed and the government has already come out and said, yes, we're going to look at it. But hold that rage in check for but a moment, Helen, because some of the things that I've been reading this morning have been, well, why don't we do something like make it an opt-out for British AI companies and only ask for consent from, let's say, US companies? So we'd still have the same problem, but just we'd say, well, they're British companies. So British companies would be allowed to scrape the data. Or maybe we won't do that. Maybe we'll say that there are certain sectors that are protected, but let's say what they call mass media. And the example they gave was journalism would be open. There you go.
Don't even.
So while, to start with, there was that moment when you see the headline that says, government makes a U-turn and you go, thank heavens. And then you read the detail and say, that's not my idea of a U-turn. So it is not too late. It's too late for the consultation. The consultation has closed. And Lord, did they make that difficult. It was 47, well, depending on how you looked, 47, 51 questions.
My God.
And they were detailed and complicated. And Equity did put out some guidance on how to complete it, and I actually had already completed it using some guidance that somebody else, a very well-known chap called Ed Newton Rex, had put out, and I used that to help me to answer it because it was phenomenally complicated.
Half the time you can't even understand the questions. I mean, I can't anyway.
No, and the cynical part of me says they're kind of counting on people looking at that and going, I don't know where to start, so I won't start. Yeah. But that is now finished, so hold that and check as well. Like we can put that one to one side. The consultation, at least that part of the consultation is now closed, but it is not too late. Write to your MP. And we are already seeing some responses from MPs, and disappointingly, some government MPs, Labour MPs, whose responses are coming back. And we've been told that MPs don't like template letters that that just a copy and paste. So try and write something that is, you've adapted and you make it personal. So it doesn't just look like a copy and paste. But the irony being, we've seen some copy and paste responses that, again, would have your blood boiling because they really cheesed me off. It's like, don't answer the question to start talking about all the wonderful advances that could be made in medicine. It's the ones that they always throw back as medicine. We're not talking about that, and we're not talking about no AI. We're just saying license our content legally, ask for consent. Yeah. So none of us is saying no to AI. We're saying if you want to use my data, you come, you ask me, and then we discuss how much and also what the terms are and where. Yeah. Because, again, if it's just it's an opt-out where I have to find out, I could find my material has been taken and used for something, like, I don't know, political videos that have been, uploaded to the internet. We've seen that kind of thing already. Something or something even worse, something that I, would be anathema to me. And that's, I just, I should be allowed consent. So write to your MP. And if you get a stock response, go back to him or her and say, this is a stock response.
Please answer the question.
Please answer the question and address my specific concerns, There's nothing. That's what MPs are paid to do. So
agreed. And there is a starter template email as well from Equity. So we'll put that link in the show notes.
Yes, and please do use it as a starter, but please do adapt it. Because although in theory they have to look at the numbers, if they know they've had 20,000 emails in, but to actually get their attention, I think, and I do understand we're all overwhelmed with thousands of emails, and them even more so. But I think it's important that we make it clear that this affects us as individuals, and they will see that if we are actually writing our own. Yeah. Use the template, but adapt it and make it personal. Yeah. Just one more thing, in the words of Columbo, I can't do the impression. My son does a brilliant impersonation of Columbo. It is the year of committee elections, and that includes the audio committee. So if your blood is boiling and you want to get more involved, then you can stand for election to the audio committee. And there are some other industrial committees. So if you are an actor as well as a voice actor, there are other committees you might want to be involved in, like Screen and New Media and some of the others. I won't list the committees because that will make very boring listening, and you can just go to the website and have a look. But there will be an email through anyway. I believe nominations open on the 5th of March. From memory, you'll be required to write a just short piece, like maybe, I can't remember what it is, 100, 200 words about why you want to stand, and a photograph, headshot, and obviously you need to be a member. You can't stand for the committee if you're not a member. But it really is worth doing. You get, I hear people often say that they feel that they're unheard, or that they think that no matter what they say, it doesn't make any difference. Honestly, trust me, it does. The stuff that we've worked on as a committee, and the audio committee, and I do want to blow our own trumpet, and in particular people like Marcus Hutton, who is the chair of our committee at the moment, have been working on AI and the impacts of AI for years now. From memory, I would say at least 2017, 2018. So that's a good long time. And to start with, I think even the union didn't understand the impact. And I absolutely believe wholeheartedly, I'm not saying that they would have done nothing without the audio committee, but the audio committee spearheaded, no question, and pushed and pushed and pushed, and and got the audio contract template, for example, was done, and including adapting that for AI, etc., and all of those things. Those are things that only happen because people get involved with committees. It's a voluntary position, so you are giving up your time for no money, and for lots of people to start messaging you and emailing you to complain about things and ask you questions that you don't know the answers to. So be aware of that. But it's worthwhile, and you can make a difference. So if you stand.
Lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Talk to you again soon, I hope.
Yeah. Talk soon. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Voiceover Social podcast, hosted by Rob Bee and Helen Bee from BEE. Sponsored by BEE.
Voiceover Social.
Thank you to our guest, Kate Harbour from
kateharbour.com.
Socials coming up are Manchester on Friday the 7th of March, Humberside and Barton on Saturday the 15th of March, Berlin Social Sunday 16th of March, the online Pint and Rabbit Social Friday the 21st of March, Bristol Social Friday the 28th of March, Belfast Social Saturday 29th of March, Helsinki Social 2nd of April, and Hearts, Beds and Books Social on Friday the 4th of April.
All audio production by Rob Bee.
Please like, subscribe and leave a review to help more voiceover people find us.
And if you want to email us, it's listen@thevosocial.com.
See you next month.
The Voiceover Social.